You guys ready? Y'all ready? You're about to watch 3 months of extremely hard effort from over 20 people that have gone into making this possible. Again, this entire thing is going to be free when we're done. A complete free mod for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because it is the way it should be. With that being said, let's get this thing started. There's a lot of stuff happening. Anyway, hi. Here's the PowerPoint presentation. Right, here's our PowerPoint presentation. Is that an attract mode? I mean, I'm just saying, we have a lot of incredibly talented people working on this thing. First person to give a shout out to, that is our main theme that you just heard. That is the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond main theme, composed by none other, the absolutely extraordinary Little V. Huge shout out to Little V, came in clutch to give us a main theme. Huge thanks to him. Let's just get started. I'm just gonna start going through things as the game presents itself, and I'm just gonna highlight elements that are in our MVCIB mod and sort of give you guys some details on what's going on, and overall a presentation of the things that are changing, have changed since last time, and everything like that. One thing I also wanna do, I think people forget sometimes, I'm firing up my PlayStation 4/5 to get the original vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite running on our PS5, just for some comparisons, because most of the time people just sort of look at this and just assume that, you know, oh, it looked like that before. And I wholeheartedly just disagree. I've been looking at this version of the game and I feel that way a lot. And then when I go back, I'm immediately reminded, okay, no, the game, this looked very different. I would just like to go and show you how dramatic some of these changes are. Another thing I'd like to let you know is, again, this is a mod. We do not have source code. So a lot of the stuff we're trying to figure out and make adjustments to, quite literally us learning how to do it. So many things have changed since the last version of the game, especially visually. Can we play online with this mod? So when the mod is eventually released, emphatically yes. The whole point of it is that if you are playing with other players that have the exact same mod, when we do eventually release it, hopefully at some point later this year, we are going to have it so it should work with every other person that has the mod. If it doesn't, it essentially just desyncs and doesn't function. But there's still a lot of testing we have to do with that. I'm firing up the console version to show you a comparison of kind of how the game looked. So let's just get into a map and give you guys just a quick example. I'm gonna throw like Ryu and Iron Man in here, and we'll just take a look at how this whole thing pretty much looks. Let's go here, Ryu. Anybody else is fine. Let's take characters we've already shown off before, like Zero, and let's take Iron Man, and let's take like Spider-Man. All characters that have already gone through a lot of changes. So this is vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And I'm gonna flip over in a second so we can go in between the two and sort of give us a couple of examples of how different these characters look. So this is vanilla MVCI. This is the game that I actually love. All right, you get me shit about it, but this game is mad fun. This is honestly one of my most enjoyable to-play Marvel vs. Capcom games, despite how it looks. So, you know, it is MVCI, and this is how you may or may not remember it, but this is definitely how it was. So, while not a terrible looking game, it plays extremely well, and it's quite fun. Let's flip back over. Let's start up our little mod project. Another huge apology. My friggin' computer is going through hell. So a lot of my stuff just crashes, and it doesn't crash on other rigs, or we don't have that many crashes for our game on other rigs. So if I crash every once in a while, we'll just fire it up again. I have to get a new computer pretty much. I'm pretty much gonna be getting AMD. So this is our mod project. Sure, you heard this already. The background art here, as we described before, is made by Long Vo. It was done for Razer Panthera a few years ago. Another thing you'll notice, our main menu is changing. This is effectively version 1, but you kind of get the idea of where we want to go with this. There's not a ton that I can show you right now, but our main menu is going to be going through some adjustments, a very community-focused main menu, showing off characters and artwork and friendship/rivalry moments between the roster. So this is the very early part of it. Again, the folks that made this possible, give a huge shout out to our UI team. This is like Erebus and Lazarus, I believe, as well as Bruno might have had some involvement with this. So If I miss any names, I'll be trying to give everybody. We have actually a big list of people that have worked on this game and actual credits, and we'll be highlighting that a bit later. So, and yes, also highlighting all the artists. There are several artists in here that you might recognize. I know Eric Martin is right here, Dipod. There's a lot of folks that we got to give proper credit to, and we want to get as many artists representing this menu as we possibly can. With that being said, let's just get into it and take a look at some stuff. I'll pick the characters we picked before. Oh, I forgot to mention. We have a new character select theme. This is Little V once again doing our character select theme.
Ryu, I walk the path of the heart.
None of this artwork has mostly changed. You might notice that there is some adjustments to artwork on the character select menu, but this isn't where a lot of our time has gone. Most of our time has gone into a lot of other stuff for the game. So don't get me wrong, our plan is to change all the artwork that you see on the screen right now. So all the versus screenshots, as well as all the character portraits, this will be different, and it will be a part of our mod. So let's pick some characters. Who did I have? I had Zero?
Zero. Roger.
And then Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
All right.
All right.
Only one team.
So let's take a look.
Standing.
What also has changed since the last time we have gazed upon the game?
Fight.
You might notice that the interface is now different. Character portraits are now different. Things just look generally very different than they did before.
Lock and load.
Things might just look a little bit different than you remember it. I'm gonna bring myself back in here. Let's go down here, actually. So, huge shout out to Bruno, who is the initial conceptor and concept artist / implementer of our interface. Another huge shout out to Lazarus, part of our interface team, and Erebus, that got the functionality of our new UI up and running. So, you know, it's pretty massive. Some things that we gotta show off and talk about since the last mod. The visuals of the game have gone through a massive overhaul. Massive. An absolute huge overhaul. I'm wondering if you can tell what it is just by me doing a couple of supers. So, yes, Nurse Lee nailed it. I've been talking about this a lot. The outlines are cleaner, they're different. Yes, Erebus is obviously the person that has been severely helping us out behind the scenes to get this done. It isn't just the outlines, it's also the inner outlines. So a lot of stuff has changed to make the colors more pop. If you don't know who I am and you're just tuning into this, my name is Max. I'm just a big Marvel vs. Capcom fan, but I effectively started this project with Rin, who created an editor that allowed us to make these changes, and then we turned into a dev team of 20 plus people. In terms of what I would want in a Marvel vs. Capcom style game, if we could fix things in Infinite, the whole point was to get us back to a color scheme and feel of Marvel vs. Capcom 1, as well as Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Like, that is the goal. To bring us back, just bring you back to the past, to play some old fighting games that were broke. So that was like kind of the point. And I've been acting as not just director of the whole project and kind of manager, but art director. So while we're not seeing things that are completely final, there is stuff like some props that have not gone through the changes yet. You're looking at a game where every single piece of every single character, this isn't just a slap it over the whole thing and it looks good. Every single piece of every single character is handcrafted. Handcrafted to look the way it does. So, it's been a lot, dude. It's been a lot. And I'm effectively acting. I'll show you guys some of the behind the scenes later of what some of our other modders do in terms of rigging and everything like that, and texture work, texture artists, but I'm kind of acting as like the final say of how the final visuals look, you know, how they look. And The people that I got to give massive credit to that have stepped up has been Zeno, has done so much work. It's insane. Has been Moo, and has been Fooch. These are our 3 primary artists that are working on the game's overall character visuals. Those are our texture and our material artists. I'm acting as like the art lead on top of that and making sure everything gets into the game correctly. And it has been so time consuming, it's wild, but the reward for it being the way it is feels amazing. So you'll also notice UI wise, the combo counter is fixed. I've been collaborating with Bruno on a UI for forever, and he's just amazing. Like, Bruno's so good at like visual graphics and stuff. And just to go back to some ancient stuff, I remember sending him this, and I'm like, I really love this like kind of look for a combo counter. And then he came up with something that looks, quote unquote, infinitely better, in my opinion. And there you go. So let's just show something off really fast. Let's jump back to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Vanilla. Give me Iron Man. So just to show you guys how different this is. This is a very different change to the game. Okay. Let's tag in Spider-Man, and let's just look at Spider-Man Super just for example. So you'll look at something that they do in this game with super lights is kind of interesting. But they don't really go too far. It felt like a lot of stuff in mvci, they did not want to go too far in terms of how the presentation was going to look, you know? So, their lights don't go too crazy. Everything's kind of flat lit. Another thing that has dramatically changed in our version of the game, another huge thanks to Erebus. We worked tirelessly on all this stuff, and I am hand-picking all the lights in the game for every single character, for every single one of their supers, and for every single one of their intros and outros. It is so much goddamn work. The lighting is different. It's much more dramatic. It's much more powerful. And that was absolutely intentional. We just wanted the lighting to look like it's significant for our cinematics. So yes, and it was also my choice. I see some of you guys in there shouting out the Spider-Man color. Thank you. I effectively brought Spider-Man back to his MVC1 colors, to his old school Sprite colors, and I moved away from his movie colors. And his movie colors were always kind of dark blue, as well as really bright red. I'm keeping the color scheme. You'll also notice with Ryu a comparison. Ryu went through a lot of changes. The classic, like, dirty Ryu that is in vanilla MVCI is no longer here. Where is he at? Is no longer here. This is like a sort of brownish, I call him dirty Ryu. And ours is much closer to MVC1 Ryu. I'd like to show you my inspiration for this stuff. It's pretty much right here. This was where I started, and this is where we eventually ended. So MVC1 colors. I want to bring our characters back to an old color scheme because they have changed a lot over the years. So I want to make it feel like it's very 90s, you know? Do you want to see some more supers on some characters here before we move on? Because these are the characters that you guys have been seeing from the very beginning. Since the very, very beginning. Let's check out Zero. Zero got the most anime face we can possibly give him. The most anime face. And in fact, let's really show this off. Who did the portraits? Good question. The Capcom side of our portraits is done by kinda not. The Marvel side of our portraits are being done by D-Slukes, so Angry D. Kinda not's been my primary artist on the channel for a hell of a long time. Super happy. He loves Capcom characters. And Angry D is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met, and one of my favorite art styles ever. He's going to be doing the Marvel side. We have other art that has not changed in the game yet. There will be more updates later. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, what's that? We got some stage stuff. This is a version 1 of our Marvel Legacy stage. This is version 1, chat. We literally got this in earlier today. It's cute, is what it is. It needs some fixes, which we're already going to do. But Ion Computers handled this. Huge shout out to I. He was a modder back in 2017 that I talked to in MVC back in the day. So, let's see if we can break some stuff really fast. Yeah, boy. Chat, did you know that the entire stage renders for some reason? Like, the Dr. Light part of the stage is just here? What is going on? This is getting a little behind the scenes that, you know, we normally would never see the characters from these perspectives. But, you know, I just wanted to show you some of the cool changes. So, Zero, for example. Let's do this. So, we can frame by frame some of the game to show you what's going on, to see how different the outlines and the inner outlines look, which took a lot of time. We made Zero and X look as anime as they possibly can. They look as anime as they possibly can. And yeah, pretty dang happy with the way the bots look. Somebody mentioned it on Twitter, and they're like, bro, this is the best looking that Zero and X have ever looked in 3D. And I'm like, let's give props to like Rin, who did the original work on Zero, to Fuch, who did the original work on X. They did an amazing job. So yeah, some of these characters look great, and we have spent a lot of time making sure their colors, when they eventually get into the game, look really good. Check this out, chat. Just check this out. Look how cool this guy looks. I spent an entire 6 hours on Spider-Man. We gave him his mask, the rim around his mask, made sure that got in there because we lost it for months. For like 2.5 months, it went away. So Spider-Man is as a Marvel vs. Capcom classic as it possibly can be. And yeah, he looks friggin' great. It looks great. I'm getting some feedback that Kevin is saying that this worked on a Steam Deck. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Avengers Crew is saying this worked on a Steam Deck. Also, to show off some of the lighting, there was a very weird thing with our lights when Ryu was throwing the fireball. For some reason, he was being lit from the back, and I'm like, we have to change this, man. It's like the Shinko Hadoken was absorbing the light away from the scene instead of highlighting Ryu. So this is the kind of stuff that is handcrafted. Every single element, every piece is going to get changed. You know, every single thing has to be the way it is to look better. So that's the kind of stuff that's going into this. Anyway, you love how young Ryu is? Thank you! If there's one thing that changed, Ryu and other characters like Chun-Li became younger. We went back to 90s versions of characters, if at all possible. They became literally younger. So that was the point. It's not alpha, but we're trying to make him look younger. Huge shout out to Ion Computers. Literally got me this stage earlier today. I was like, get it in the pack. I want to see it. And this is, we'll go through a lot of changes here. Don't worry. A little fun Marvel vs. Capcom Legacy stage will get updated. Who else should we check out, chat? Oh, I know. Let's go back to this one. Vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. A lot of people say that our mod doesn't look that much different than the old game. I disagree. You want to see Jedah again? Okay. So let's check out, just for example, let's check out, let's go to No Moon. Let's check out Jedah. And let's also check out Ultron. And let's also check out Captain Marvel. And who else should we check out? Thanos! Let's see what they look like in Vanilla Marvel 3. I'm sorry, Vanilla MVCI. Woo! I've been doing this shit for way too long. So, Vanilla MVCI. Jedah is one of the sickest goddamn Capcom fighting game characters ever. I don't care what you say. He's amazing. I'm in mad delay. I can't do combos. So, I really enjoy this character in this game. I never got good with him, but goddamn is he cool. So Capcom did a really good job with some of the existing roster members in MVC, in MVCI, and I'm a huge fan of the way some of them actually play, especially Monster Hunter, especially Venom. So there's Captain Marvel, there's Jedah, here's Ultron, here's Thanos. You can kind of see what they look like in the old game. Thanos is a character I also put a lot of time into. Ultron is one of the top tier characters in the game. He's insanely good. So, and also a very cool brand new character. Also was backported to Marvel 3 by Tabs, animations and everything. He's in Marvel 3 now, if you guys want to check that out. Please, like, Clone Engine for Marvel 3 has a lot of the MVCI characters put into Marvel vs. Infinite characters put into Marvel 3. So it's the same thing with Thanos. Thanos was actually retroactively put back into Marvel vs. Capcom 3 from their work in MVCI. And that's a lot. Cool characters, right? Let's flip over. I forgot to mention, before we take a look, maybe you should listen.
Fight!
You're gonna feel this! Power Blaster!
Wonder Maxima!
This is Captain Marvel's new theme. Done by Alex Mukala. Let it rip.
Is that all you can do?
This is music. It goes on for a bit. Very cosmic, yep. And there you go. That is Captain Marvel's brand new theme by Alex Mukala. Our inspiration at the start, the words I was giving him, because musicians need feel. I was like, it needs to feel futuristic, it needs to feel exciting, and it needs to feel epic. It also needs to be relatively cosmic in some way as well. And Alex fucking nailed it, dude. Like the first try, I was like, bro! And it's got a little bit of FF7 remake in there, just a little bit. Again, we started taking a deeper look at all the music in the game and sharing examples, and it's like, Marvel Infinite and Final Fantasy VII Remake have similarities. Both games tried to go for this epic cinematic feel while also trying to balance the older classic retro themes of the old games. So Marvel Infinite does that to varying levels of effectiveness, while FF7 does it very well, keeping the old legacy and making it new and epic. And while Marvel Infinite tries, some themes are really good, other themes just don't feel exciting. They feel cinematic, but they lack the epic feel. And I think we connected on a point where it's like, yeah, that's the kind of thing we need for our Marvel characters. We need to get to a point where they feel like they have identity, and you can remember one from the other. That was the goal. Let's look at Captain Marvel.
You're gonna feel this! Power Blaster!
So, a lot of changes. I think this was one of Moo's characters, and I finalized a lot of her colors not that long ago. I actually don't know a lot of Captain Marvel stuff.
I'm pretty much the boss of space!
You'll see some of our outlines not playing nice with everything, and it's a work in progress, man. We're trying. It's just a lot. But yes, like, Captain Marvel's looking a bit closer to her comic book versions, you know, in this one. Let's do... Her supers aren't actually that... Blitzblow? What the heck's Blitzblow? There we go. There we go. A character I don't play.
I'll use everything I've got!
Kind of like the hair. It's intense. It's very intense. So that's Captain Marvel. Huge shout out to Moo, who did the work on this character. It took a while to get her to a point where she actually looked like more of a cartoon than she did a realistic person, because you know, as we can tell by comparison, she is quite realistic looking in the old version of the game. Although she's not a bad looking character. I think she's actually one of the better looking characters in MVCI. I think they did a pretty good job with Captain Marvel. You can see how some of the effects in the old game look really good, because obviously they're not going with a cartoon shader. Oh wait, I think there's something else I can show you. This is Ultron. And I would like you to listen to something.
Reality show.
The power to control everything.
This is Ultron's new theme by Alex Mukala. He's a bad guy. We needed a bad guy track. It fits him. I know. I know. Alex Mukala, the YouTuber? Yes. He's one of our lead music developers. And then it restarts from there. So that's our new track for Ultron. Ultron's a very popular character. A very popular character in this game. So the idea was that I wanted to give Ultron a theme that we're gonna hear. And you see this character played all the time in competitive mvci. He's extremely good. So I wanted to hear it. I want a theme that I'm guaranteed to hear every once in a while because it's fucking cool, you know? So. Not a great Ultron player and I'm on a controller. Aye, aye, aye. Oh, let's check out a super. I gave him evil bad guy lighting. I gave him super evil bad guy lighting. And we got to a point where we very much understood how our metallic and specular highlights work. So we got characters that are normally pretty shiny. That's very hard to do with a cell shaded style, and we got there, you know? No, we didn't change his voice chat. Level 3.
The machine is the supreme fighter. Venom will truly hit him.
So, big shout out to the main artist on Ultron, who is Fooch. Fooch has handled a lot of our robots and characters that have a lot of complexity, like all the drones and stuff like that. Fooch was able to figure out the functionality of that. And then eventually I got to the point where we needed to figure out how this dude's going to look in game because the metal was kind of a problem. And we finally got there. Got to a point where we're very, very, very happy with how our metallic elements look in game. And I tried to make him look as evil as possible. That was the point. Wanted him to look as creepy and evil as possible. Is everyone getting the new themes? We're taking it one at a time. Alex is a busy dude, and it's hard to ask him to just work on 36 character themes or some shit. That's a big ask, dude. Let's look back at Jedah. Kind of a classic character, but also has gone through a ton of changes. Also, will just look a lot cleaner than he did before. You'll notice that our desired plan of getting his blood effects fixed is not there yet because we do not have a full comprehensive understanding of how effects are processed in this game. So it's just a work in progress. But a lot of the other stuff that is more red, supposed to be more red on him, is gonna be more red. Just as an example, we flip back to, you know, Ultron in this game, who's mad shiny. Look how shiny this dude is. Jedah in this game, we're trying to bring out those reds a little bit more and to make sure that we're getting him as close to Darkstalkers as possible. I was using reference directly from Darkstalkers 3 of how to get this dude looking the way that I kind of want him to look. So, coming along. He's definitely coming along. He's one of the very early characters, too. He looks kind of plasticky in the old one. He does, yeah. I might actually tone down some of that specular lighting around him at some point, but he looks quite good.
No need for the tactics of play.
And how about his level 3? RTX on.
Surrender your life to me.
Also, he has brand new lights.
Has its end. The contract is complete.
He's got brand new lights on all of his supers. He fixed the inside tailcoat colors. Thank you! Nico noticed. So a big thing that has gone on this project, chat, is masking. Making sure that shadows don't show up in the spots that they did. And you'll notice every character that has a coat or an underside to them that you can see, we're just catching so much shadow and light that it didn't make any sense. So, Jedah's coat is properly lit now. And that was another big thing I spent a lot of time doing over the past month for many characters. Who do we got next? Thanos! This is Thanos. Thanos reigns. Personal fan of Thanos. He was one of the first characters I kind of worked on. With when I actually got into like the dev of this instead of just directing. So we gave him some real special lighting in some of these moments to make him look scary as fuck. I want him to look scary, bro. He needs to be scary looking. Yeah, let's see if I got some. Anyway.
The galaxy is mine! Taste an eternity of pain! Cosmic fall!
Look at this evil bitch! Look at this crazy evil bitch! I love him. I love how much of a crazy shithead he is. Pretty cool. I would also like to show something and maybe make an announcement. Let's see if I can actually show this off. Our game has gone through several gameplay changes, like a lot of them. And there's gonna be a list of stuff that you guys can review and go over and check out. So,
Power Stone! Space Stone! Mind Stone! Reality Stone!
things have changed.
Mind Stone!
Some things have changed. Thanos has gained the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Also, if you guys are, curious about some of the balance changes for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond, they're available now. The final version of the game with all the updated visuals is still in work, but we need some feedback and stuff like that on gameplay changes. So I would like to announce that available right now thanks to Erebus and Rainbows. mvci beta is up right now, and you can download the pack to test the balance changes. The only way you can play other people online with these balance changes is if the other person also has it. This is just balance changes, chat. This is nothing other. All the other stuff is a work in progress, but we do need some feedback on gameplay balance. Also, there are some other changes I would like to show you that are pretty substantial, and some that some people will notice and others just might not. Let's see if we can spot the difference here. So, you do a super in mvci, and you tag in. Anybody catch it? You do a super in mvci, and you tag in. The difference now from the previous game, let's just go back and take a look. When you do supers and tag in an mvci, pay attention to the character that is about to tag out. They piece out of there pretty quick. Tag super is incredibly powerful in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. One of the most powerful things in the entire game. So now, when you play the game and you do a tag super, they're still going to be insanely powerful. But you'll notice that the character that did the super now does a taunt and then leaves, leaving them on the screen for a longer period of time and more susceptible to damage. This only happens during tag super, as I understand it. Huge shout out. That is a system-wide change to how tag supers work. So they're still good. They're still insanely good. But if you don't get the mix, then there's a chance that you could get happy boo-booed. This is an extremely minor change. But tag is slightly slower. Very slightly slower. Let's go back to the vanilla game. And again, huge shout out to Rainbows and Erebus who worked on this stuff. Tag is mad fast in the OG game. It's one of the fastest attacks in the entire game. So it could lead to some super degenerate stuff. And, it's crazy powerful. Tags were 5 frames. 5 frames, unreactable shit, and they screen froze, you know? So they were extremely powerful. Tags now have been changed to 7 frames. And that will seem like, to anybody that plays the game, bro, you'll not see any difference. You'll see no difference. But to anybody that has been playing this game for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe not 10 years. For anybody that's been playing those characters and this game, oh, tags are now punishable. That means that you can actually jab punish a tag. You're not going to get a heavy or something like that, but it means that you can throw out a jab with several characters and interrupt a tag. So we're curious how this is going to play out. And again, the mod is available right now if you want to play other people that also have the gameplay adjustments. They'll be at the top. No more grabs. You can actually, yes. So again, like the way to punish this stuff, I'm sorry, I can actually set it up. The way to punish this stuff was to throw. And that's all you got was a throw, you know? So now it's going to be different. Now you're actually going to get a much bigger punish than just a throw. I like MVCI. People are like, I want you to add 3 characters. I want you to take out the tagging. And I'm like, here's the thing, man. That is not my quote-unquote vision for this project. The nice part is that we have gameplay people, Erebus as well as Rainbows, who play MVCI, who are big community members, and they are connected to the people that play this game every single week, to the ICU hater crew and Don and everybody that literally I've been watching play this game for the past like 7 years. Those are the people we're in contact with to make sure that some of these changes are aligning with it. Speaking of changes, who's next? Has Sigma been updated? I would like to tell you that every single character has at least their first costume functioning. I have gone through the polish of about 60 to 70% of them. So everyone's at least ready to show. I'll let you know if it's going to get better. I'm going to keep a fix-it list when I eventually see something and I just will forget because there's a billion things to change. What else we got? We want to see Hulk? I'm hearing some opinions.
Hawkeye. Standard Avengers protocol, right?
Hawkeye? I heard a Sigma request.
Sigma.
All is according to plan.
And G-Rider? You guys want G-Rider? Do you? Oh, I forgot to mention. We have a new stage.
Fight.
So, this is in work. Obviously in development. But we're bringing back the Onslaught Apocalypse stage from Marvel vs. Capcom 1. The direct reference of this is the final battle you have with Onslaught in MVC 1. And it's getting there. It is getting there. It needs a lot of work still, but it's definitely getting there. Huge shout out to Koenji, who figured out how stages work, right? Literally how stages work and put us together a whole ass stage. Huge shout out. And this is our first stage. The problem with brand new stages is that they are expensive. And I don't mean expensive as in they cost money, they cost space. Stages are very big and they're very hard to make. So, you know, it's gonna be, we're trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure that out. So, this is the Hulk. He's a big boy. I don't know how to play Hulk. Hulk still needs to go through a little bit of refinement on my end. Just a little bit. But I'm very happy with him. Hulk's also gotten several very necessary gameplay changes. So for anybody that is curious. Gamma Tsunami! And what else have we got? Gamma Quake! Yeah, his entire body is shiny. He needs a little bit of work still. That's Hulk. The big green guy. We got his colors to a point where he feels pretty good. Pretty Hulk-like. And that's a Sigma. You forgot that he had a command grab. You forgot that he has a command grab. Oh yeah, so the stage is going through the UI. We know about that. Yeah, that is a big thing. The stage is in development, and I do think that we haven't even touched the post-processing. That stage is still very much in development. Our training stage has gone through some changes. Another one from Koenji. Our training stage got cleaned up quite a bit, and it's looking a bit better. It's looking a bit better. So this is our MVCI training stage. By the way, also Hawkeye, right? Also Hawkeye. A huge shout out to all of the friggin' texture artists, right? Again, a reminder, Fooch, Xeno, and Mu were all of our texture artists that got these characters to look the way they do. The true heroes, and I'm just polishing up their incredibly cool work. Let's look at this guy. Right, let's do some combos. Oh, I remember. Yeah. Tremble in terror. I love Sigma. Shoutouts to Chris Turgliafera. Shoutouts to Chris. He does Sigma's voice in this game. He fucking kills it. It's so good. Burn! Fireball forward? Trying to make these bad guys look as bad as possible. They need to look real bad.
Now unify the world from Alpha to Omega. This is how the world should be.
That still happens because of our new outlines, but it's not the end of the world. We'll figure it out, right? Sigma Thanos was my team for a bit. Not really. Steve is the one that plays a lot of Sigma in this game. It's actually Steve. So also Hawkeye went through a ton of changes, man. I consulted Mu. I have to tell you. Mu Cartoons is our comic book aficionado. And I had a big problem with the way that Hawkeye looked in MVCI originally. Hawkeye was just very uneventful in MVCI. He's super good though. Don't get me wrong. He's actually like one of the better goddamn characters in the game because of poison. I really did not like his visual style. Just the choice that they went with him, the colors that he's got. He has a more tactical look to him. So I wanted to get something that was like a little bit closer to comic book look. You know, again, that's the big point of this mod, to bring us back to like a 90s sort of visual look. Get characters not looking like the, what's it called? The cinematic movie versions. Bro, holy crap. This is very different looking. Like just for comparison, chat. This is very different looking. This is a very different looking game than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was. So, here's Hawkeye. And yeah, I just was not a huge fan of the way he looks in this game. Just didn't like it very much, and I think giving him the toon shader and flattening him out a bit, the cell shaded look for Clint probably, I think, just looks a lot better. But he's so good. Like, if you want a mad good character in MVCI, Hawkeye's crazy good in this game. And it's wild because you can reflect projectiles, dude. Like, you no shit can reflect projectiles in this game, and Hawkeye is still really good. Like, he's still super good.
Right on the mark.
I have no idea. And it's like a poison arrow or some shit. There we go. Yeah, this is the god tier stuff. This is what gives them some of the best damage in the game. Let's look here. Another thing that we eventually figured out and liked way more, characters have black outlines in our game, right? They have their darkest black color is a really, really deep shadow. Every single character has it. Hawkeye also has it, but on some characters' skin, it just ends up being a bit too much. On Hulk, it looks good because it highlights all of his muscles and stuff, but on some characters like Hawkeye and his face, it just wasn't looking good. So I've spent a lot of time masking out every single character's skin where it looked bad, and just kind of analyzing what I think looks better. And Hawkeye's a good example of that. He looked so much better once he went through masking, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is good. You know, this is good. Again, you're seeing characters with props and shit. Hawkeye has like bows and arrows and all this stuff. A reminder of how difficult this is. Mu Cartoons, Fooch, and Xeno not only are taking the characters, they're taking props. So, the props of all the characters also need to go through a flattening and a redesigning. So not only is this crew having to redraw all the character materials and everything that they have, they're also having to go through everything else the characters have, and we're still in the process of that. That's going to take a long time.
Hold that thought. Fire sale. Cows. The taste of the full course. Now that's what you call accurate.
Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Next up is a character I think y'all been waiting for. And I have good news and bad news. Bad Robot. Ghost Rider. I'm already seeing some changes I have to actually change on G Rider. If you think he looks good, that's cool, but he needs a little bit more polish. Eat chain. Does it mean his Ghost Rider's neck look like a spring? Yes. When we were doing our new character outlines, right? We're like, I can see all of his bones. All of his bones are showing up. I can see every bone. So that's the problem with the outlines. It's kind of hard to make the special effects that is in Marvel Infinite render on top of it. That's a bit difficult, bro. Yeah, here, let's do this. I would like you to see something. Let me check if Ghost Riders is actually done. It's not. But it's not in the game, but it has been worked on. So Ghost Rider's bike is his original unflattened bike right now. It's a normal Ghost Rider bike. Normal Ghost Rider bike. I would like you to see what this bike looks like on a texture / material level. It looks like this. Ghost Rider's bike. Is this his bike? It's the bike, yeah, okay. Because we've seen this before. There's like 500 pieces. 500 pieces that need to all be redrawn. Every single fucking piece of it needs to be redrawn. And then after the redrawing, we got to get it into the game and then do a color balancing to make sure that it's okay. This is his bike, literally flattened out like it's a Google map. This is how difficult this is, chat. Every single character is like this. Every single one of their elements, their props. Let's look at some other stuff. This is his supers. We gave him some scary lighting. And I have bad news. We're not exactly ready to import character. We're not exactly ready to import camera movements from other games yet and reanimate camera movements, but here's his level 3. We tried our best for now. And there would definitely be stuff I would like to do in the future, but right now we don't have like a wild amount of camera control. He says he's gonna penance stare you, and he stares at you. All right. I don't know what you want out of it, but when this bitch says I'm gonna penance stare you, he looks right at you. He's looking right at you. He's staring at you. That's what he's doing. He's giving you a big stare. So there's old Ghost Rider, and here is new Ghost Rider, with some touches that still need to be done. I actually don't think I have gone through Ghost Rider's materials yet. So he might not have gone through a final polish outside of just colors. That's it for these dudes. Who do we want? Venom? We did see Venom a lot before, and to be real, Venom hasn't really gone through many changes from before, but I'll show him to you. Okay, how about Strider? I'm with you. Nemesis. Worked pretty hard on Nemesis. And I'll save this guy for the last reveal of this one. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous about this Dante guy. We're gonna find out. We'll find out. So, Venom has largely gone unchanged. The majority of this character already looks really good. I just haven't had a chance. He always looked so good, and other characters needed more like love, care, and attention. Shout out to the sick-ass Strider art. Shout out to the sick-ass Strider art done by over there. Oh, man. So yeah, Venom is not that changed from what he was before. Some things need to be changed, still need to be adjusted. Some textural stuff is a little wacky and a little goofy. As you can see, there's some stuff we got to figure out, and many of his abilities still have not are going through like effects changes. So the goop needs to become more goopy blue, if that makes any sense. This is the same stuff that it was at before. Venom looks good, man. Venom just looks good. But I'm not content yet. There's definitely some stuff that I would like to change, and he's one of the earlier characters from effectively the first month of the project that we got to go back and handle. Nemesis also went through a lot of changes. This is one of those characters that we got to go back. I don't think people fully understand. Here's these guys. You know, they're big and crazy. Here's Nemesis level 3, for example. And Nemesis, I'm sorry, Venom. Venom is one of my favorite characters in this game too. He's so cool. His redesign, his gameplay is so much better than it was back in the 90s. So much better. But comparatively, this was a choice made early on. I think when Rin was working on Venom, she was like, oh, we should bring him to his 90s comic book. Oh, I'm sorry, his 90s like show look. And a lot of people responded really well to it, and I love the look of it, and I'm like, yeah, that's what we're doing. This is just the way it's gonna go. Nemesis, though, is a weird big pink boy. He's a big pink boy. I don't know if he's so weirdly fleshy in this old one. I don't... And he's not very, like, his costume isn't very dark. It's just very, like, flat. He just looks kind of nasty and not really a cool way. He looks gross, right? To me, he looks more gross than they are with cool looking. I want him to be cool looking. So we darken out the costume and get these elements in there. I love the bad guys because they're so much easier to light, right? When I'm figuring out the lighting for these supers, it's so much easier to make really intimidating and scary looking lighting for characters. So yeah, Nemesis was one that just everything just fell into place and it looks good. It looks great. Does Nemesis drool? Yes. Yeah, he drooled in the old game too. This super is not completed yet, I believe, because this is a material we just haven't fixed yet. You'll notice that the monster and his bazooka have not gone through adjustments. So the bazooka still looks weirdly realistic, and the the monster is pretty much the old versions with just outlines, and you can see what the old stuff looks like with outlines. It'd be how it do. This is Strider. I had a personal goal with this version of the character. This is Strider. I spent a lot of time on him. Let's show you a super. Check this out. Yes, I brought back Strider's eyeshadow. Strider's eyeshadow. I think people forget that Strider's an assassin, pretty much. Like, he's effectively an assassin. So, in many ways, I try to bring back his sort of a sinister kind of look. He goes in and gets the job done. Look at this evil bitch. Look at this murderous intent on this guy. Do you see that murderous intent? That's what I wanted. That's exactly what I was going for. He needs to have his murderous intent. That was the point of the character. And also he's got kitty cats. And kitty cats and, you know, birds. These are my birds and my kitty cats. So yeah, Strider's pretty sick. Worked a very long time to get this guy the way it was. I had a story about his cowl just being completely fucked up, and I had to figure out why it was doing that, and I eventually solved it. So, yeah, make sure all the appropriate colors are there, and he is the way he should be. Pretty dang happy with Mr. Hiryu here. I'd like you to meet Dante.
You gotta be crazy.
This is Dante. This is Dante. Dante from the Devil May Cry series, everybody. If I knew anything how to actually play Dante. New VA, that has not changed. No, the voice acting has not changed yet. So, I would also like to show off something and give credit to all the stuff that you don't even realize is in MVCI. Notice this, chat. There's like an ice state. There's also fire states, where characters literally light on fire, they get shocked by electricity, and they get hit by ice. In regular Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, these just exist because, you know, they're made for the game and the way they look. So, Dante, characters will light on fire here, as you can see, and it looks nice. You also get hit by ice and shit, and it looks nice. It looks really good. That completely did not work when we retextured the game. All that kind of stuff that you don't even realize is there, it's just visual elements. It's just visuals. They're quite literally for gameplay communication. You just gloss over them, but for us, we see them every single frame when they don't work. Dante. How do we like Dante, chat? Are we happy with him? We went through a lot with this dude. We went through a lot. We went through an awful lot. I effectively drew this motherfucker's face. He went through a lot. By comparison, right? By comparison. The model is not changing. The majority of the characters in this game, the models of the characters are not changing. It's the textures, right? So, this face is the same face you're seeing here. It is quite literally the exact same geometry that goes into making these characters look the way they do. It was just the lighting and everything like that is the way it looks. So, you know. It be how it do, man. And we go through those changes. I bring back his classic colors. I want him to actually have his poppy colors that he had before. And I think he looks pretty neat now. And I'm not even entirely done. There's actually several things I still need to do. Also, a note, I think the majority of Dante's materials and his weapons and stuff have not been flattened yet. So he's gonna look even better. When we eventually get to these things, they're gonna look even better. So just as a heads up, you know, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Who else is another character? Chun-Li. Let's do that. Chun-Li and Morrigan. Not all of our color 2 to 4s are complete yet, but a lot of them are in the game. They just haven't gone through like polish and finalization. But I did for Strider for the most part, and I did for Ultron. So, Ultron, dude. I love it how the little glowy bits underneath him are called emissives, chat. And I think Fooch gave Ultron pink emissives, which are similar to his drones. Where the hell are the drones? Yeah, the drones have pink lights underneath them. So he gave the same pink lights to Ultron. And he looks great. He looks great. I got a Strider deep cut for you, chat. Does anyone know the deep cut? Strider and NPC 2. This costume, which it's referring to, and this was my favorite costume. If you zoom in all the way, like all the way, it's the only Strider where his eye color substantially changes. And he has red eyes. We brought that shit back. And also the NBC2 color. I would like you to meet Chun-Li. Chun-Li has gone through a lot. A lot of changes and a lot of goddamn work to get her to a spot that works. You'll also remember that Chun-Li is very much inspired by MVC1 Chun. The big point of her visuals was that we wanted her to go back to the colors of classic Marvel vs. Capcom and not the Not the stuff that has been in recent fighting games, you know.
I'll finish this.
She looks pretty dang,
I'll finish this.
like, you slow down any of these little bits. Oh no, that doesn't hit? What the heck? I'm confused.
I'll finish this.
I spent so much time on Chun-Li, chat. Spent so much time on Chun-Li to get her colors right and her face right and everything. Yeah, the top left character art is in progress. That's kind of not everything is done yet. We have as much in here as possible, but it's still being worked on, you know? Hopefully she looks cool. I hope you like her. It's taken a lot. Next, Morrigan. So this is our Morrigan. Morrigan has been a challenging character in general, but we tried to pretty her up and also get her pretty close to what she was in old MVCs.
Can you dodge this?
Try to get her fairly close to classic Morrigan and old MVCs. She's pretty. And to give huge shout out, Zeno spent so much time on this character. So much time. To get her to the point where she looks pretty damn good, in my opinion, dude.
You're a bad one.
I think she looks pretty damn good in our version. But here's a funny thing. Now you can see the old version. There's old Morrigan over there. Because we haven't done this part yet. This is still, you know, this is not done. This is the old Morrigan. So, I'd like you to see, let's go back and let's show you what these characters used to look like. So just for comparison, this is what these characters looked like before. That's the changes. From this shot, those are the changes.
Can you dodge this?
And let's flip it now. Looks like she's coated in sand. It was a choice.
Dodge this.
It was a choice.
You've been naughty. Can you put up with this? Does that feel good?
And let's check out Morrigan over here.
You've been naughty. Can you put up with this? Does that feel good?
There you go. All right, so there was Chun-Li and Morrigan. Let's just highlight some of our alternate outfits that you might not have seen yet. So you'll notice Thanos went back to his classic Marvel vs. Capcom look. Thanos looks like old school Marvel superheroes Thanos. Cool. Cool. Old purple boy. And Morrigan.
Can you dodge this?
I'll fix it. I don't know if this is about to awaken something in me. So yeah, these need a little bit more polish. There's some masking that still has to be done. But yes, alternate costumes for characters. Es muy importante. Characters need their alts. Kinda cool. Thanos is pissed.
The galaxy is mine! Taste an eternity of pain! Cosmic fall!
Jesus. And Spider-Man has gone through many changes. Some of these still need to be touched up on because they're a little too shiny in some spots. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man was one of the ones that Zeno really wanted, and I'm like, I'm down. I'm hella down. Still got to go through some polish on these. Long story short, chat, the only stuff in the game that has really gone through like most polish is the character's first colors. Costume 1. And the rest of them, we still got some work to do. Oh, I haven't shown off Dormammu yet. He's done. He's big done. We're just showing out some of the alternate costumes in the game because they are in the game. Yeah, this green Dante costume I wanted to keep. I love this green Dante costume. Never mind. This one still needs a little bit of work. I lied. That was me lying to you. That was me lying to you, chat. You understand? I lied. I'm just like, this is what I get when you turn into a dev and you just start lying, right? Does he look cool? I'm pretty happy with him. I actually just recently made his shadows a little bit darker. Dormammu went back to his old school look. Yeah, Dormammu's really a different color. Really a different color now.
What are you? Scared?
Floating ball. And then there's level 3. Dark Dimension. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now let's Iron Man, chill. Let's check this out.
What's wrong?
Yeah, the only tough part is that the way we outline our characters is put on top of the game logic because we don't have source code, right? So many of the effects that you see throughout the game will go through the fire. So characters with fire heads, you know, you see the skeleton of a character like Ghost Rider. You'll see through and see the head outline of a character like Dormammu. It's kind of just the nature of it, man. If we find a solution, you know, we'll change it. We'll change it. So, alternate costumes. Oh, that's different. Ooh, that's different. I believe that this was a request made by Moo Cartoon's resident comic book expert. I believe this is the SHIELD costume for Captain Marvel.
Is that all you can do?
Believe so.
Let's go! I'll use everything I've got! Good night!
Let me see the Thanos alts. I can show you the Thanos alts, yeah. Don't worry, I made sure the purple alt was good, Muffin. I made sure. Since I have the attention of a lot of people or people that might be on YouTube, we don't have a super big engineering staff. We're kind of just figuring this stuff out on the fly. So if anybody has expertise in Unreal, how outlines work really well, and you know how to help us out with something like the outlines on Dormammu's head, the effects outlines going through stuff, you know, let us know. We're recruiting, man. We can use help in that way. So Ultron, I made this bitch mad gold. I made this bitch hella gold, dude. Like gold. I love gold. I made this dude really gold. Twisted a lot of knobs and dials in Unreal Engine, and I got something that looked crazy gold. So that's some alternate outfits and a quick hello to Dormammu. Let's check out Thanos this color. All right, Captain America, another Thanos color. And Dictor Strongy. I asked Stan Lee from Beyond the Grave, I'm like, how do you actually pronounce Doctor Strange? And he said, Dictor Strongy. Thanos colors are hooked up, man. They be hooked up. In fact, I've seen some changes. He was one of the earlier characters I did, like I said. Not bad, right? Red gives you M. Bison vibes a little bit. It's a little too red. We'll figure it out. You love it? Good. M. Bison colors? Not exactly, but I think that might have happened on accident. So I'd like to introduce you guys to... Hold on a second. Let's change some music. This is Doctor Strange.
I must end this.
Oh! The reality effect has changed. Another big thanks to, I think this was Bruno, designed us a new reality storm.
You're a fool to fight omnipotence.
So each one kind of represents a different visual style. This is Doctor Strange. And you'll notice a big difference. Let's go back before we really get into it. Doctor Strange's color scheme is quite different in this game, dude. Like, he is not the same looking guy in terms of colors. We tried to go back to his Marvel 3 color scheme, which is a bit more classic Doctor Strange and not as much Movie Man. Most of the stuff in this game is Movie Man. But his effects look really cool. If there's one thing I dig about Strange is that his effects are awesome, dude. Yeah, he didn't even have shoes in the old game. He was a shoeless bitch. Magic!
The power of destruction teleports.
Bolts of ballsack.
I unleash the secret magic.
I like the lighting on this one. Change it a bit.
Hoary hosts of Haggar.
Made a magic man. Again, some of the outlines colliding with the effects looking the way they do is just because we're outlining characters and doing inner outlines in a completely different way. Doctor Strange is gotta go through some stuff still. Gotta go through some stuff. He's easily one of the most fun characters in MVCI, also one of the best. He also has legs now, funny enough. He also did not have legs when he flew before. Did you know this? We gave him some legs, not all of his legs. When he's flying around in old MVCI chat, he literally has no legs on a hurt box. The only thing you could hit was his body when he was flying. That was kind of fucked up. So we extended his hitbox down a little bit and made him a bit more functional. Shoutouts to Rainbow and Erebus. They told me that and I was like, that's fucked up. And they're like, it is fucked up. I'm like, is any other character that way? And they're like, no. Every other character is different. That's Doctor Strange. This is Captain America.
Captain America.
Shield slash. Shield slash. Earth or peace. Charging star.
Oh, wait. Captain America does not look the same. Captain America is no longer the giant WWE wrestling meat lord that he was in the old game. He is no longer a meat lord. We thinned him up, and we took a model from a different game and cleaned it the hell up. He doesn't have a frog face anymore. Frog face Cap? I like frog face Cap, okay? I was down with Cap being a frog. I like Captain America as a frog with no neck. I dig it. Here is our Cap. I am pretty happy with him.
For freedom. Stars and stripes.
Stars on stripes!
Let's go. Stay down. Hit it. Unyielding. Justice. I won't surrender.
The top of that level is going to have to get lowered opacity a little bit. So, just to give you a little bit of a look at some of the hard work that's gone into this character. This is Captain America from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. One of our texture artists effectively brought in the character model from MUA 3, and it was all fucked up. We had to get this to a point where he looked okay in the game. Learned a lot about how our engine works with these things, and I did a new level of polish on top of him that really gets him kind of close to the rest of the roster. His shield was also completely in shadow. I masked out all those shadows and made sure that looks good. Cap, I'm pretty dang happy with. In fact, I feel like he's kind of our baby. That's our Cap. Yeah, that's our Cap. That's our new Cap.
Justice. I won't surrender.
And Cap is mad good in this game, dude. I'm glad you're happy.
Freedom.
I'm glad you're happy with him. Completely new Captain America. I would also like you to meet the Winter Soldier. I would also like you to meet Nova. Black Panther? There we go. There's several reveals in here. There are several things we have to show you about all of these characters. Several things. Get ready. Is this a new game? No, this is a mod that me and about 20 other devs have been working on. It'll be available at the end of the year, hopefully, and it'll be completely free. So, stage is in progress. I have to remind everybody I like that. The stage is just kind of having fun. But you can see how different Cap looks here, right? Just by comparison. Oh, also, that's Nova. I want to dolphin slam this bitch. Sorry. Gravimetric Blaster! Yeah, Nova came out pretty good. He was already one of the better looking characters in Marvel 3 originally. But all I did was kind of just bring back his Marvel 3 characters, right? I'm sorry, his Marvel 3 colors. In MVCI, he doesn't look that bad. Nova's a mega Scream Lord. Are you ready for this shit? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Nova Force full throttle! Nova Prime power!
That's Nova. That's Nova, my dude. Now that's Nova. Shit. And to be real, Nova's lights aren't done. I just realized he has no custom lights. So this is all just default game lighting. And, you know, they're going to look better. Those supers should honestly be looking even better than they currently do. Yeah, dude. Slick. Very slick on these guys. We're going back to the 90s. That's the whole point of it. I'd also like you to see another character. This is the Winter Soldier.
Here's something for you.
You also notice something seems different. Something about Bucky is just looking a little bit different. I can't tell what it is. I don't know exactly what. I can't. It's hard for me to. I have bad dad eyes.
Need some bullets? Take mine.
You're not bad guy Bucky yet. So his eyeshadow and his mask have returned. I'd also like you to see something else.
Better clench your teeth. There you go. It ain't over. Unyielding justice. You've done enough.
The bros. Yeah, if there's one character in the whole roster I thought looked great in MVCI, it was actually Nova, because they made him super shiny. Look at this guy. I don't hate it. To be real, I don't hate it. We just have a different take on him. We kind of flattened him out a little bit, but he is Captain Sheen. This bitch just went through a car wash. He's so shiny. But you know, these things would be very hard to do with a flattened out art style, like a cell shaded art style. Nova is easily one of the coolest looking characters in this game. So Bucky, you know, obviously very different in comparison. Obviously quite different. Also, this is Black Panther.
I am T'Challa, King of Valhalla. Playtime is over. I fight for Valhalla. The weight on my shoulders gives me strength.
Black Panther took a lot of work.
Like an arrow, right there. Maxima, prepare yourself.
But we got him to a spot that looks pretty nice. And just for comparison, Black Panther before.
Prepare yourself.
And he's not bad looking. He really isn't. It was just, we had to keep some of the details and make them pop a bit more. And that was kind of what I wanted to do, to make the details just pop more on his costume. So you just see them. Because you can't have, in cartoony style cell shading, you cannot have a character that is like a really dark color on their costume and have it be the whole costume. Ghost Rider and Black Panther are the best examples of that. You just can't have that. It looks bad.
Time is over. I fight for Valhalla. That is the law of nature. And
Damn,
my
bro.
law.
It's a video game now. Let's talk about this one.
Reporting for duty.
Let's talk about this one.
Understood.
Let's also talk about this one. Let's show off Firebrand and Rocketu Raccoon,
The battle begins.
the crazy rat. This is Mega Man X.
I've got a job to do and you're it.
He has gone through a lot of work to get to this point. A lot of work.
Special weapons ready. You're going nowhere.
He's even gone through more work than he did on Twitter a few days ago. A lot of work. That's what it is. His eyes freaking out from his super is actually a distortion effect that's present in the original game. Let's go back and check him out. So this is Mega Man X in MVCI, just for comparison. And this is what the dude looks like. These were the choices they made on this boy. This is how he looked. Fooch spent so much time on this character. Because X is a very complicated character in this game. Because he isn't just X, he also has light armor. Oh, so he gets, light armor, and that also changes the way he looks during his supers. It also changes what he does during his supers. It also buffs out things like the Mega Buster, it makes it way better. Also, visually, it's a completely different character. It's a brand new model. A completely different model. So it was my job, once he was all flattened out and ready to go, to make sure that his colors in-game really look like X. Because a lot of the characters, the colors that he's had before, just don't really look like X, you know? And yes, like, I wanted to animeify the shit out of him. I wanted to make him look super anime looking. That was the point. I wanted him to be hella anime looking. We added the anime eyes. I changed the way his like pupils and irises look. They changed the way the shadow hits his face, like all that kind of shit. I was like, these are group effort characters, man. And to show you, X has some pretty crazy things in the OG game. He not only changes into 3 different characters, he changes also 2 characters. He also changes into a 3rd one with his level 3. He gets, I think this is the ultimate armor. And you don't really notice it, but a lot of the underglow of this armor is see-through. This armor is actually see-through. You can see all of his robo bits underneath it and shit. So that's cool, but also it's impossible to do something like that in cell shading. You can't do it. So we did it anyway.
Have no other choice. Power level rising. Ultimate strength.
He has the see-through. Fooch figured it out.
Have no other choice. Ultimate.
Looks ridiculous.
You're finished.
Can literally see all the robot bits and shit, and it still has like the overlayer. It's wild. So yeah, X is probably one of the biggest labor of love characters in the whole game. I think collectively, so much time has been spent on this guy to make him look the way he does, because we wanted to do it right. If I'm gonna do a Mega Man character in a game, bro, like especially if it's gonna be Mega or X, they're gonna look fucking good. The nice part is that everybody cared just as much as I did to make this stuff possible. Also, Firebrand. Pretty straightforward and wasn't that difficult. Some very minor changes to this guy. You know? Sure, Gonzo's gonna be super happy. This shithead character. I'm gonna be super happy with this shit. This piece of shit. Another Nemesis situation. Yeah, we didn't want him to be too gross. By comparison to his original game, he's just a bit flattened in this one. I wanted to make him the red armorer, for Christ's sake. Needed to be red. So, you know, we're working at it. We're working at it. Actually, he's Firebrand. He's not red armorer. That's my bad. I'm an idiot. I'm a stupid basic bitch. Firebrand's in here. That's right. He also has this wild-ass level 3. He brings in a shithead. And the shithead in the background doesn't have outlines. Don't worry about that. He'll be fine. Another character I'd like you to meet. This is Rocket Raccoon. Huh. Something looks kind of different. Wait a minute. Did we get the wrong character? Huh. That's not the same at all. That's weird. That looks extremely different. Huh. He doesn't look like a freaky rat? He doesn't look like a freaky rat anymore? I'm gonna say personally, I'm disappointed. Where'd my trash panda go? Huh? Where the hell's my trash panda? Where did he go? They took him out of the game. This is a bunch of bullshit. They took him out of the game. Hi, Groot. How's it going? Oh! Rocket Raccoon. Okay. That's Rocket. And a huge shout out to, I think several people worked on this, but I think this was primarily Moo's character? Fooch did a pass of polishing, yeah. And Moo was the one that initially did the importing. Moo did the rocket import and flats weapons were Fooch. Yeah, so that again, we have split teams that are taking like props and main characters. And yeah, Rocket has new props. Check it out. This is the difference of a character that actually has correct looking props. Oh, they look mad good. They look mad good, dude. So yes, to me, it's worth doing.
All right, let's do it. Get out of the floor, get away. And here's Rocket. Ain't no thing like me, except me.
And let's just compare that. Here's what it looked like before.
All right, let's do it. Get out of the floor, get away. And here's Rocket. Ain't no thing like me, except me.
So that's Rocket Raccoon. He's actually a completely different model from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which just fits the art style of Marvel Infinite and Beyond, unlike Marvel MVCI, which was obviously going for a more realistic art style. This is a monster, and here is the Monster Hunter. So, the Monster Hunter.
I could fight you just as easily unarmed.
I'm sure you could. Didn't forget how to play this character entirely. Monster Hunter isn't finished yet, but she is going to get flattened weapons eventually. That'll be one thing that we do. She has a lot of crazy gear. She has like the Brachydios dual blades and shit. She has some wild stuff. She's got a lot of moves, man. A lot. Full slash. I worked my ass off. This character has so much gear on her, and all of it was catching every light in existence. So, had to get rid of that. Had to get rid of that. Oh, there's a face shadow there I gotta fix. I actually recently darkened her skin more to give her like the super tanned looking hunter look, so that's also a change that went in there. She's really cool looking in this game, man. She's super sick looking.
So tasty.
You know? She's good looking, I like her. She's one of my favorite characters in this whole game. So just by comparison, Monster Hunter looks pretty cool in the OG game. To give Capcom credit, she's kind of awesome. You know, she's pretty sick looking in this game. They did a good job. Who else we got? Arthur! Ooh, I spent a lot of time on this guy, and I'd like to talk about it.
Stick with me and you'll be
Everybody did. The funny thing is, when I say I spent a lot of time on something, that's the time that I spent on it, and not even talking about the initial setup time, which is just so fucking much. Franklin West.
Let me out there, boss.
Thor. We're almost done. Some of this is still a work in progress. I think Frank still needs a little bit of pass polish, just a little bit. So, Arthur. This little guy. Frank still needs a little bit of pass on lighting stuff, so I'll take a look at that. But Frank looks decent. I just need to do some stuff. This is an example of a character that needs some of the changes so you can see what goes into it. So Frank, right? Not quite there yet, but looking pretty damn good. The zombies have not been flattened out yet, so we gotta actually make zombie mats, you know. As I mean, Frank still needs a little bit of work. He has a plunger. He has this. So an example of Frank. This is kind of what you have a character that has not gone through a full polish phase on lighting yet. Just as an example. He looks really good already, and it's like we can get him looking even better, right? We can get him looking much better. But he should look a lot better than the original. He already looks mad good. I see a pathway to get things even better looking, so, you know, that's my job. But I think he looks great. I was actually really surprised at how good Frank came out when you just add the when you flatten him and you get him in the game, he actually looks very good.
This'll make a nice shot. Hee-haw! Okay.
Normal zombies.
Yeah. Give him hell. Say cheese.
It's not bad. It's really not terrible.
Now
All things considered. His face is looking a lot better than it was before. Let's go back. Let me show you what Frank looked like in the old game. Here's what Frank looks like. Damn, bro. I forgot. Damn, dude, I forgot. And they're not even... Frank isn't even, like, ready yet, and he's already looking like a big snack.
let's go to town.
Yeah, he has a 5 o'clock shadow. He does.
Get it out of here. This'll make a nice shot. Hee-haw! Come on.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. Give him hell. Say cheese.
Yikes! Whoa! Big yikes! Wow.
Holy armor.
By the way, Fooch took the most complicated character in the game. Would you imagine that the most complicated character in the whole game was Arthur? Materials, weapons, props, you name it. And he's fucking naked.
Thou wouldst make a pitiful night.
No body fat. Boxers.
Away. Give me strength.
He was so complicated, dude. He had so much stuff.
For the princess, unleash thy power.
And yeah, I think this was all a big Fooch project. Shout out to Fooch. This was a very difficult one. I'm going to change some stuff on him because I haven't even looked at his materials yet. But probably the hardest character in the game to mod. Extremely difficult. Arthur, and that is Frank West. Looking pretty great. This is Spencer. And oh boy, let me tell you, this is Spencer in Marvel Infinite. And I find it very weird because his color design is totally different. Like the visuals they chose here just really blow my mind. From Marvel 3 and also the game he came from Bionic Commando. It's very weird to me that this was like where they went with him. So we had another game for reference, which was Marvel 3. We have like more detailed models from Marvel 3 is what we got. Yo, bionic arm. And yeah, this is our version, which is just a bit more grounded. So anyway, yeah, Spencer colors are just lining up a bit more with a classic Spencer look.
Get ready for this. Sleeping on the job? Here you go.
This guy took a long time to get to bring back his dark skin instead of making him like weirdly pale and orange. I don't know what the hell. I think Spencer's in a pretty good spot. I'd like you to also take note. I worked my ass off on this bitch's arm. Worked my ass off on this guy's arm. Masked out so much crazy wild bullshit. This freaking dude's bionic arm. Make it look all nutty like this. Every part of his body was taking up all these specular highlights and I had to like do so much shit to make it look the way it does. Last up on this list, we have, just for comparison's sake. Oh yeah, let's look at Spencer here. Here's a level 3.
Sleeping on the job? Let's see you come back from this.
Look at this, a little rugged Spencer. And then we have Thor. You know, mvci Thor. This character's very fun in this game. He's a bit easier to use too, just in general. Thor! So yeah, and then our Thor is, oh wait. Wait a minute. That isn't, something must be broken again. Can't believe something's broken again, bro. Something broke again? I don't know how this keeps happening. I don't get it. How does this keep happening? How does like, I think you fix something and it just doesn't get fixed. Weird. Yes, Thor is a completely different model as well. He still needs some fixes, right? He still needs some fixes. We got some polish to do on him, but I spent a lot of time getting him to this spot. Yeah, it was Zeno. Got the rig over from a completely different game, functioning in this game, and it's working. And it's working. You think this is the biggest improvement personally? You don't like this Thor? You don't like this Thor? It's not that bad. So there's a Thor. Thor's hair does not have physics. It doesn't have physics in the old game either. That's the problem, is that like adding physics to characters, or it does. We might be able to bring that back. Good call. We'll see if that is something that is done. Actually, good call. The lighting with the black outlines is actually so sick. So yes, I mean, I appreciate it. When there's a big change we did, I wanted our cinematics to be more cinematic. So again, me and, oh yeah, Ringe. Where is it? So me and Erebus spent a ton of time figuring out how do we make cutscenes look more special. Lighting was one thing. And then it was also, well, let's make the outlines big, right? Let's make, Thor's face is a little messed up here. Don't get me wrong. Let's make the outlines like really thick during supers and only during supers. And we were able to identify how to get that done. Thor's face still needs work. But yeah, like that was one of the things we did, where it's just like, oh, let's make the outlines really, really, really big on cinematics, and then they turn off. We're almost there. Who haven't we shown? Oh, Haggar.
It's me, Mike Haggar.
It is Moke Haggar. We're gonna show Gamora with all the new visuals. We can show the Black Widow.
I've got intel on our target.
It's not entirely done yet, but very close. Christopher. I deleted Chris and I put in Leon. That was it. I straight deleted Chris and we put in Leon instead. That was the goal. That was the plan. That's what I did. I'm not sorry about it. Mike Haggar.
Can you take this?
Haggar needs to do get a little bit of work done. He's sort of at that Frank level where it's like he needs some masking polish. But Haggar. Ugh. Looky here. Wait, what is it? Where's Looky here? Looky here. Oops. Looky here. This is the Mayor of Earth. Did you guys know that? Haggar was given the title the Mayor of Earth. Ugh. Oh, also, well, let's just do this to Black Widow. Sorry, Black Widow. You're gonna get it. You're really gonna get it. Oh, God. Let's check out Haggar in the old one. We'll say, Lizard Heating Lamp stage. Yeah, the man is all neck. Here, let's try this. So. This is Haggar in this one. And Black Widow. Will these models be available in cutscenes? Unfortunately, all the cutscenes at mvci that you see in the story mode, it is pre-rendered. Does Haggar look like he's in a bright light? Yes, he's not done yet. Haggar hasn't gone through like final polish yet. The shadows on his legs are a bit too dark. That's Mike Haggar. He's good. He needs a little bit. He needs a bit of work. He's not quite there yet.
I have you in my sights. Immobilizing target.
But she's still looking pretty good. Still looks pretty good. She needs a little bit more polish, and then I'll be very happy with it. Let's look at this.
Your mistake. Here, just shut up and go to sleep.
Cammy, is that you? She's about the closest to Cammy in this game that you got.
Execution is everything. Let's wrap this up. Going down.
And just for comparison,
Execution is everything.
it looks like in this game doing the same thing.
Let's wrap this up. Going down.
Again, like all the supers on a lot of these characters that aren't finished yet, that's stuff that happens last. They'll all get completely different cinematic super lighting. So yeah, Gamora just got better outlines just in general. She already looked really good before. She already looked really good. White Widow's in there, Moo? Okay, I'll check. We need to go back and do a review on all the all the different stuff,
Slice and dice.
all the alts.
Case with all flare. Seeing double.
Oh, flippies. Flippies. If you think it looks good, chat, that's great. It's gonna look a lot better. If you think Haggar looks good, that's great. He's already gonna look a lot better. Oh, Chris. What the hell? Wait, what the? Christopher? Huh? That's not the same man. That is not the same man. It's a different man. That's a very different man. Huh? He's also, his shadows are all messed up because he's a bit of a rough state, but... Oh, it's RE5, Chris. Oh, his costumes actually have the correct fucking colors because for some reason he has like the wrong colors on his costume in Marvel Infinite. I don't know why his BSAA outfit is incorrect, but it is. So we brought it back to what it's supposed to be. It was very weird. Considered by many to be one of the worst characters in MVCI, Chris got gun cancels, for those that missed it in before. Guns cancel into more guns now. He could not do that before. Again, he has not gone through a polish phase, and his face is still pretty much straight out of RE5. He doesn't really look like he belongs in the game yet. But that's the point, is that we are taking his visuals and kind of giving him an RE5 makeover. His face is not shaded like any other character in the game. And his texture, the texture on his face is not flattened yet, really. It'll take a bit of work. But the nice part is that even with almost very little like adjustment to his face, he already looks much better. He already looks a lot more like Chris than he ever had before. These kind of are examples of some characters that do not have all the crazy polish that you saw in the first 3/4 of this stream, just to show you that, like, oh, you know, we still have some work to be done. There's still some work to be done. His hair just isn't even flattened at all, it looks like. It's like straight up the same. So anyway, we got to get him lined up with everybody else. I think we reviewed every single fucking character in the game. 3 months and not everybody's finished yet. 3 months and we're feeling pretty good about it, but it's like, I think before we have a version 1 chat, we might need about 3 more months. Maybe 3 more months. Here's the folks that are, the kind folks that are working on all this. So I'm exec and director and also art director. Rin created the MVCI editor that allowed us to get all this stuff to work the way it does. Started the initial cell shading style. Erebus is our lead tech. He works on pretty much everything, knows how to like everything works to a certain degree, and specializes in like the outlines. If there's one thing I got to give Erebus credit, he's the one that created the outlines. And then we got on creative production, Darrett's like an overall manager for the project, just helping everybody, making sure everybody's on task, helping out with social media. On artists, Zeno. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about Zeno and Fuch and Mu because, you know, they're effectively the main champions of the art side of the project. I don't want to put myself as a material artist because I'm just working on top of their work, but they deserve all the credit for this stuff. And then on UI, we got Kai, we got David Liu, obviously D Slugs, Angry D. Can't talk too much about that yet. Bruno on YouTube and Twitter, and he was doing all the UI. Complete overhaul of like everything UI wise. He's the one that literally made all the interface you're seeing here. And also learned how to use Unreal. Like worked with Erebus and Lazarus to quite literally create all of that shit. I don't see, oh, there's Lazarus in here under engineering. And then outside of that, several artists that help us make artwork for the main menu are in here. Wavechan, Dipod, also Eric Martin. I got to add him in here too. Via is in here too. There's going to be more. Rainbows is on gameplay balance, also is Erebus. Nice is on engineering. Nice is the one that created the 2v2 mode. Quite literally made it so that the game can accept 4 controllers and created a mode where you can do 2v2 teams or created a mode where it's 2v2 on screen at all times. Nice was also the one that I hired to make the Marvel 3 extra slots. He's the guy that won the $5,000 bounty. He created it. Huge shout out to Nice. I couldn't, that first mod chat with those modes, the modes aren't in game yet. They're modified in. He did that in the first few weeks the project started because it was one of the things I wanted the most. I was like, I want a 2v2 mode and I want Cross Fever. Lazarus, also on UI team, has been helping out with a ton of stuff. And then Alex and Alec and Little V. Colleen recently came on board because we needed somebody to work on the friggin' audio stuff. So all the audio engineering in the game, all over the place, bro. And we needed somebody to get all of the audio that has been changing and going into the game into a spot that actually works. And it's all balanced to a certain level, and yeah, it works great. And then on the stages, we got Koenji, Neociano, Ion Computers, all helped out with engine assets and stuff, all working on different stages, the Marvel 2 stage, the Onslaught stage. Ion Computers just gave me the default stage, the Avengers stage mod. There's so many people, dude. There's been a large misconception that like 1 or 2 people, my ass has been in full fucking game dev mode chat for like 2.5 months. At one point, I was like just giving direction and art direction, but no, now it's like my hands are fucking dirty. This is the most like active game dev I've ever done. And it isn't just me, it's a lot of people. The budget of this project already at 3 months has well past 5 figures. It's one of the most expensive things I've ever done in general, to get everybody hired to do stuff. This is a mod that is, understand, a mod that is going to be completely free for everybody that bought MVCI and was not cheap. We have no plans to sell this. We have no plans to turn it into a product in any way. All it's gonna be is that if you like MVCI, try it out. Our version 1 should be available at the end of this year, the visual mod. You can play right now the gameplay. The gameplay is available literally right now. And we can't give you the visuals yet because it's obviously not done.